Hi everyone, how are you all? I am Rekha. Welcome to my channel Rekha's Knowledge Hub. Today we will see NCERT Classic Science Chapter 11 Nature's Treasures Part 1. School vacations are always fun for Bhumi and Surya. School vacations are very enjoyable for Bhumi and Surya. This vacation, they visit their Aji. Aji means grandmother. During this vacation, they go to visit their Aji. Aji means grandmother. Aji lives in a village on the edge of a forest in the Western Ghats. Their Aji lives in a village near a forest in a place called the Western Ghats. The air in the village is fresh and cooler than in the city. The air in the village is clean, fresh and cool, not hot and polluted like the city. They can see beautiful hills, streams and many interesting plants, animals and birds around them. Bhumi and Surya see beautiful hills, small streams of water, and many plants, animals, and birds around them. They enjoy being close to nature. One afternoon, Bhumi and Surya asked Aji to tell them more about the place. One afternoon, Bhumi and Surya asked their Aji to tell them more about the place where she lives. Aji says, "Children, do you know that this place has several treasures of nature that enrich our lives?" Aji tells them that the place has many treasures of nature. These are gifts given by nature that help us live better. The pure air is refreshing and the soil is so fertile that it supports a variety of living beings. The air is pure and fresh, so it makes us feel healthy. What about soil? Soil is fertile, which means it is good for growing plants. Moreover, this place gets plenty of sunlight, which is useful in many ways. The place gets plenty of sunlight, which helps plants grow and is useful for people. Different varieties of trees provide food and shelter to animals, including various birds and insects. There are many different kinds of trees. Trees give food and shelter to animals, birds, and insects. Can you think of more such treasures of nature? At the end, Aji asked the children to think of other gift of nature. So nature is very precious and gives us many gifts like fresh air, fertile soil, sunlight, trees, animals and birds. These gifts help all living beings to live happily and safely. So we must love nature, protect it and take care of it. See, in this picture you can see a beautiful village. Bhumi replies, "Aji, we use water for drinking and growing vegetables." Bhumi tells Aji that we use water for drinking and growing vegetables. Aji says, "Yes, we need these treasures for our survival and for making our lives more comfortable." Survival means staying alive. So Aji agrees and says that nature's treasures like water, air, soil and sunlight are very important for our life. They help us stay alive and also make our lives easy and comfortable. Without these treasures of nature, any form of life on earth is not possible. Aji explains that without these gifts of nature, no plants, animals or people can live on earth. We all are a part of nature. She also says that we are all a part of nature, not separate from it. Aji explains the importance of air around us and how it is essential for our survival. Then Aji talks about air and tells the children that air is very important for survival. Let us find out more about air. She asks them to learn more about air. So nature gives us important things like air, water, soil and sunlight. These are needed for all living beings to survive. Since we are a part of nature, we must use natural resources wisely and protect them. Air. One morning, Bhumi and Surya see Aji performing some breathing exercises. Aji asks them to join her. One morning, Bhumi and Surya see their Aji doing breathing exercises. Aji asks them to join her. She says, I am taking deep breaths in and letting them out. This helps in getting more fresh air in the lungs to stay healthy. She tells them that taking deep breaths helps more fresh air go into our lungs. This keeps our body healthy and strong. Bhumi and Surya sit with Aji and start taking deep breaths. Bhumi and Surya sit with Aji and breathe in slowly and breathe out slowly. Let us also perform a breathing exercise. We can also do this breathing exercise every day to stay healthy. Let us experience. This is our activity. Take a deep breath in and then breathe out slowly. First we breathe in deeply and then breathe out slowly. Take a deeper breath in again. Next we take an even deeper breath. Hold your breath for as long as you can and then breathe out slowly. Then we hold our breath for some time and slowly breathe out. How long can you hold your breath? How do you feel when you hold your breath? From this activity, we find that it is difficult to hold our breath for a long time. When we try this, we notice that we cannot hold our breath for very long. The air which we breathe in has oxygen. This happens because the air we breathe in has oxygen. Our body needs oxygen to perform its functions. Our body needs oxygen to work properly. When we hold our breath for a long time, the body does not get enough oxygen to perform its functions. When we hold our breath for a long time, our body does not get enough oxygen. Thus, we need oxygen for our survival. So, we understand that oxygen is very important for our survival. Similarly, most of the living beings also need oxygen for their survival. Just like us, most living beings also need oxygen to live. We can survive without food or water for a few days, but we cannot survive without oxygen for even a few minutes. We can live without food or water for a few days, but we cannot live without oxygen even for a few minutes. This shows that oxygen is very important for life. The air which surrounds the earth is a mixture of gases. So, air around the earth is a mixture of gases. Can you name some gases which are present in the air? Some gases present in air are nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, argon, then other gases in very small amounts. So, air contains nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide and other gases in small quantities. Figure 11.1 gives a composition of air in percentage. Notice that in figure 11.1 there are 100 squares. Out of 100 squares, 78 are occupied by nitrogen, 21 are occupied by oxygen and 1 by argon, carbon dioxide and other gases. So out of 100 parts of air, 78 parts are nitrogen. 21 parts are oxygen. Then 1 part is other gases. This is called the composition of air. Percentage is the number of parts in 100. It is denoted by the symbol, this one, percentage. So percentage means what? Parts out of 100. See this picture, out of 100 parts, 78 parts belong to nitrogen. So nitrogen is 78 percentage. Then what about oxygen? 21 percentage. Then argon, carbon dioxide and other gases, they constitute 1 percentage. You notice the presence of air when the leaves of a tree rustle, the clothes hanging on a clothesline sway, or the pages of an open book begin to flutter once a fan is switched on. We cannot see air, but we can feel and see its effects. See, for example, leaves of trees move or rustle. Clothes on a clothesline sway. Then pages of a book flutter when a fan is on. Moving air is called wind. Moving air is called wind. Sometimes it blows fast, for example, during a storm, and sometimes it blows gently as a breeze. When air moves fast, it is called a storm. When air moves slowly or gently, it is called a breeze. You must have played with a firki, paper pinwheel, many times. Let us make a firki by performing activity 11.2. You may have played with a firki. Firki means paper pinwheel. It moves because of air. Activity, let us make and decorate. Take a square paper of size 15 cm by 15 cm, a pair of scissors and an old pin and a soft stick. Follow the instructions shown in figure 11.2 to make a firki. See, these are the instructions given. So first we take a square paper, then scissors, an old pin and a stick. By following these steps, we can make a firki. Now you can hold the firki in your hand and run. You can also blow air on it. What do you observe? Does the firki rotate? So, when we run holding the firki or blow air on it, we see that the firki starts rotating. When you move it a little back and forth, the firki rotates. When we move it back and forth, it rotates even more. What makes a firki rotate? It is the wind that makes a firki rotate. The firki rotates because of wind, that is because of moving air. So, wind makes the firki move. Next one, windmill. The working of a windmill is similar to that of a firki. A windmill works like a firki. Wind rotates the wings of a windmill. Windmills can be used to run flour mills, to pull up water from a well, or to generate electricity. So, a windmill works like a firki. When the wind blows, it rotates the blades or wings of the windmill. Windmills are used to run flour mills, pull water from wells, generate electricity. In India, there are many windmill farms. What is a windmill farm? A windmill farm is an area that has a large number of windmills which use the energy of the wind to generate electricity. So, a windmill farm is a place where many windmills are built together. They use wind energy to produce electricity. A picture of windmill farm is given here. Muppandal Wind Farm in Tamil Nadu, Jaisalmer Wind Park in Rajasthan, and Brahmanwell Wind Farm in Maharashtra are some of the leading windmill farms in our country. Find out more other windmill farms in our country. So, some famous windmill farms in India are Muppandal Wind Farm in Tamil Nadu, Jaisalmer Wind Park in Rajasthan, Brahmanwell Wind Farm in Maharashtra. We have learned that air is very important for us. water too is essential and precious for us. How do you feel when you cannot get water to drink, especially when you are thirsty? Let us find out more about water. Air is very important for us. Similarly, water is also essential for our life. Water. Bhumi and Surya help Aji in filling the troughs of water for the cows. Bhumi and Surya help their Aji by filling water troughs for the cows. They also help her in watering plants such as vegetables and medicinal herbs in the garden. They also help her water the plants like vegetables and medicinal herbs in the garden. Aji teaches them how to water the plants so that every drop is used and none of it goes waste. Aji teaches them to use water carefully. She shows them how to water plants so that every drop is used and no water is wasted. Water is very important in our daily life. Can you think of some more uses of water in your daily life? Write down your responses in the blank bubble. We need water for drinking. Then what are the other uses of water? We need water for cooking food. Then bathing, washing clothes, washing utensils, cleaning the house, watering plants, giving water to animals. We need water for many daily activities such as drinking, cooking, bathing, washing, and cleaning. It is also used for growing crops and for industrial purposes. Where do we get water from? Make a list of the different sources of water. So we use water every day for many activities like drinking, cooking, bathing, washing and cleaning. Water is also needed to grow crops and in factories or industries. So where do we get water from? Which are the sources of water? We get water from different sources such as rain, rivers, lakes, ponds, wells, streams, springs, glaciers and snow, etc. Water covers about 2/3 of the Earth's surface. Most of the water is found in oceans and seas. However, this water is saline or salty. So, water covers most of the Earth, but most of this water is salty and is found in oceans and seas. This saline water is not fit for domestic, agricultural, and industrial use. We cannot use salty water for drinking, farming, or industries. For all these activities, we need fresh water, which is present in the form of ice sheets or snow, rivers or lakes, on the surface of the earth, and underground. We cannot use salty water for drinking, farming, or industries. We need fresh water. Fresh water is found in rivers, lakes, ponds, and wells. It is found in ice and snow, then also found as underground water. Fresh water present in ice sheets and snow or underground water is difficult to access. A very small fraction of the fresh water present in ponds, rivers, lakes and wells is easily accessible. Only a small amount of fresh water is easy to use. So water is precious. That is why Aji guides them to use it with care. Since water is precious, we must use it carefully. Do you feel that water is being used efficiently in our daily activities? Have you observed water being wasted in your daily activities? Sometimes water is wasted at home and in daily activities. Let us find out activities where water is wasted and how this wastage can be reduced. So we should find where water is wasted and how this wastage can be reduced. Next we have an activity, wastage of water in your daily activities. See, some activities are given: hand washing, washing clothes, washing utensils, then taking shower, cooking, gardening, brushing teeth. Then we have to write how is water wasted. in each of these activities, and you have to suggest ways to reduce wastage of water. Some activities are given here. Hand washing. How is water wasted in this activity? Hand washing. Tap is kept running continuously, so water will be wasted. Then we have to suggest some ways to reduce wastage of water in this activity, hand washing. See, we have to turn off the tap while soaping hands. Next one, washing clothes. How is water wasted? Using excess water or washing small loads. So what we should do? Wash clothes in full load and reuse water. The next one, washing utensils. How is water wasted? Keeping tap open while scrubbing utensils. What we should do? Use a basin and open tap only for rinsing. The next activity, taking shower. How water is wasted? Long showers waste a lot of water. Then what we should do? Take short showers or use a bucket. Then cooking. How water is wasted? Washing vegetables under running water. Then what we should do to avoid wastage of water? Wash vegetables in a bowl. The next one, gardening. How water is wasted? Overwatering plants or using pipe. What we should do? Use watering can and water plants in morning or evening. The next one, brushing teeth. How water is wasted? Leaving tap open while brushing. What we should do? We have to close the tap and use a mug. What conclusion can you draw from the information you gathered in the table? From the table, we understand that a lot of water is wasted in our daily activities. What can you and your family do to reduce this wastage of water? Water is often wasted because of carelessness, such as leaving taps open or using more water than needed. So, we learned that water is precious and must be used wisely. There are many ways to reduce wastage of water. So, how can we reduce wastage of water? For example, turning off taps when not in use and fixing water leakages. Then recycling water and water harvesting also help in saving water. So, we should close taps properly and repair leaking taps to save water. Using water again, that is recycling water, and collecting rainwater help save water. Our country is blessed with numerous rivers, streams, and lakes. India has many rivers, small streams, and lakes. Have you ever noticed plastic bags and wrappers floating on the surface of water? Have you seen plastic waste floating in rivers or lakes? We pollute freshwater sources by throwing trash or waste materials in them. So, when we throw garbage into water, we make the water dirty. Waste from homes and industries pollute our water sources when it is dumped into them. Waste from homes and industries also pollute our water sources. Identify other human activities that lead to water pollution. Think about other actions by people that make water dirty. Discuss with your friends in the class what you can do to reduce water pollution. So, talk with your classmates about how to keep water clean. Polluted water is not fit for consumption by living beings. Dirty water is not safe to drink or use for humans, animals, or plants. As freshwater sources are limited, there is a shortage of water in many parts of India. Freshwater is less in amount, so many places in India do not have enough water. At some places, people have to walk long distances to fetch drinking water. In some areas, people walk very far to bring water for drinking. Everyone does not have the same kind of access to water. All people do not get water easily. Some get more water, some get very little. It is important for us to conserve water and use it judiciously. We must save water and use it carefully, not waste it. We must also prevent it from being polluted so that water remains fit for consumption by all living beings. We should keep water clean so it is safe for humans, animals, and plants to drink and use. In what ways can you conserve water? Water harvesting is one of the methods for conserving water. Water harvesting, that is collecting and saving water, is one way to save water. In many buildings, rainwater is collected and stored in large quantities for later use. Rainwater is collected from roofs and stored in big tanks to use later. This is called rainwater harvesting. The process of collecting and storing rainwater is called rainwater harvesting. Do you know that rainwater is also harvested in many homes, residential societies, or schools? Many houses, apartments, and schools also collect rainwater. It is an age-old practice in India. People in India have been saving rainwater since old times. A picture of rainwater harvesting is given here. Rainwater is collected from roofs and stored in big tanks to use later. For example, step wells, commonly known as Bawadi in Rajasthan and wow in Gujarat, are built for water harvesting as a response to the scarcity of water in these regions. So, step wells are special structures made to store water. They are called Bawadi in Rajasthan and wow in Gujarat. They were built because these places do not get enough water. These step wells have a unique system of water harvesting. These step wells have a special way of collecting and storing water. They store not only rainwater but also water seeping from nearby lakes, ponds, and rivers. Step wells collect rainwater and also water that slowly comes from nearby water bodies like lakes, ponds, and rivers. The walls of the trenches, that means long, deep holes dug in the ground, are lined with blocks of stones that allow seepage of water. Trenches are long, deep holes dug in the ground. The walls of these trenches are lined with the blocks of stones. So these stones let water pass through slowly into the step well. Find traditional water harvesting practices in your locality. Look for old methods of saving water used in your area. Discuss with your teachers and parents to learn more about it. Talk to your teachers and parents to know more about these methods. See, this is a picture of Bawadi. World Water Day is observed on 22nd March every year. Find out its importance. World Water Day is observed on 22nd March every year. It is important to create awareness about the importance of water. Tell people that water is precious and limited. Encourage everyone to save water and use it wisely. In the chapter, A Journey Through States of Water, we have learned about the water cycle where the sun plays an important role in the evaporation of water. Have you ever observed your mother or grandmother cut raw mangoes and expose them to the hot sun for several days to dry? Let us explore more about energy from the sun. So, in the chapter, A Journey Through States of Water, we learned about the water cycle. In the water cycle, sun is very important because it helps water to evaporate. You may have seen your mother or grandmother cut raw mangoes and keep them in the hot sun for many days. The heat from the sun dries the mango pieces by removing the water from them. This shows that sun gives us energy. The sun's energy helps in drying, heating and evaporation. Now let us learn more about the energy we get from the sun in the next video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. We will see in the next video. Thank you.